up to a lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bump, 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 got any
Welcome to the Holly
grapes?"
College Show. We have Ralph, Jack, and Piggy here.
Okay, thank you.
Jack, I have a question for you. Two survivors of the island, of course. I have two questions for Jack. What happened on the island once you got there?
We crashed, and we crashed our plane, and me and Ralph both wanted to be chief. So we got into an argument. Long story short, we split up and became two different tribes.
Ralph, how did you feel about that story? Is it accurate?
Yeah, he missed like a lot of details. So like there was like conch, and then so I was elected chief, and then so that we kind of hung out on the island for a little bit. But then I thought it was important to build huts and like prepare ourselves for the future, and he just wanted to hunt. So that kind of caused us to break apart into two tribes.
Did anything happen when you guys broke apart into two tribes?
Yeah. So he actually moved to one corner of the island, and I got the rest of the island. And then we went to go talk to his part of the island, and he killed my best friend.
Ralph, okay. Jack, what was your thoughts on that story?
It's accurate.
Yes. Exactly how did that person die? What was his name?
His name was Piggy.
Yes, I think he deserved to die, but go ahead.
We needed to make fire, so we stole his specs, and they came to get him back, and we pushed a big boulder on top of him, and he fell off a cliff and died.
It's a tough way to get there, Piggy. Let's backtrack. Was there any former feelings about Piggy? Did you get along with him, or was it a last spur of the moment thing?
Ralph got along with him, but I did not.
Ralph, were you guys ever friends in the first place?
Yeah, so when we first got there, there was always kind of this tension between us because like we both wanted to be leader, but only one person could be chief. So, but then as like kind of the island went on, we started off as friends. We pushed rocks together and stuff, but then our differences kind of became more and more obvious, and then we stopped hanging out, and then it eventually led to like a mini war.
Jack, how did you feel when Piggy died? Were there any former feelings or anything?
No,
Just straight business?
Straight business.
Gangster.
Of course.
Ralph, was there anybody in charge on the island or anything?
Yeah, so when we first got there, we voted on who should be chief, and I won. But as like it kind of went on, I was like telling everyone what to do and stuff, and then they just like didn't obey it, and they kind of did their own thing. And then actually, Jack became chief. He can tell you about that.
Jack, how were you chief?
The chief, actually.
Oh, big boss. Huh?
The chief of the savages.
Let's see, what do I have here? Did you guys have any plan getting rescued off the island? Or was it just...
So I thought that rescue was like the most important thing, because eventually we're gonna get like starved or burned to death. Something's gonna happen. So like getting off the island, getting safe was the most important thing. So I said that we should build a fire, and that was like what I thought was important. It's like building a fire, so a smoke signal going on, and that was kind of what actually first like started dividing me and Jack, because he was in charge of the fire, and then one day he let it go out. So the fire, there's no more smoke, and then a boat came by and didn't see the island that we got past. So then I got really mad and said a cuss word.
Jeez, you bad boy. Jack, did you let the fire go out on purpose? What were you doing?
Hunting was our priority.
Thanks.
We only wanted fire so we could cook our meat.
Let's see. The rumor says there was a monster on the island. Was there a monster? Was anybody afraid? It's a question for both of you.
Everyone was afraid.
Must have been a big monster, wasn't it?
Yeah, everyone kind of had their own idea of what they thought the monster was.
Did you try to hunt it or kill it?
Yeah, once, but then we couldn't find it.
So what was the monster?
Well, it ended up being a dead guy that landed there from a plane.
There was earlier. You guys said that somebody died. Was there anybody else that perhaps died, like Piggy?
There was Piggy and Simon.
Who was Simon?
Simon was a very weird kid who had a lot of problems.
Simon was one of my friends, and he was bloodied and he got a bloody nose. So he crawled out of the jungle at nighttime to tell us all a story or something. And we all thought that we should just get in a circle and stomp on him so he died. so that's what we did. Well, I felt bad about it, and most of the kids don't, but
You guys were pretty stupid.
yeah, it was like first-degree murder.
How did you guys get off the island in the first place?
So eventually, I was the only one left, and I was running along the beach, and then I ran to a naval officer, and he helped us all off the island.
Jack, you have anything else to say?
Nope.
Ralph?
No.
Well, that's the conclusion of the Ollie Gone Show with Ralph and Jack. Nice to have you guys on. And
Thank you.
nice life, Piggy, and nice life, Simon.
Hello, camera recording. We are here with Jack. He was just recovered from an island, and he's here for questioning. He's suspected of the murder of 2 people. So, in your own words, tell us about the deaths of these 2 people, these 2 kids.
They were accidental. It was not murder.
Okay. So we have multiple recordings from other kids, and let's just see what they say. Okay. First one. The chief told me. Chief is Jack, by the way. Him. The chief told me to put a big rock on top of a cliff and roll it at the kid when he came up. Such events occurred, and the kid was obliterated. What is this false?
This is false.
So what did happen with the rock?
It was accidentally knocked over and unfortunately landed on a kid and he passed away.
Okay, I'm gonna read one more statement from Roger, who says, "It was definitely on purpose. Jack told me to do it on purpose, so he would kill the kid on purpose." And your response to this?
I yelled out a signal to Roger and he misinterpreted it and
Okay.
he pushed the rock over.
Okay.
So it was all an accident.
Okay. We'll see how that holds up in court. The next one, the death of Simon. Your quote, "Weird kid who deserved to die." So what happened there?
He was covered in blood coming out of the woods, mistaken for the beast, and we didn't realize it was Simon until after we had killed him. So we thought it was the beast and we beat him to death.
Okay. So just some questions. I'm just wondering about this. So you couldn't tell that it was a 12-year-old boy?
We cannot.
And then people are reporting that he was actually talking to you, saying English words, and that didn't give it away either?
Did not.
And was it just you who killed him?
No.
Who else was there?
Most of the people on the island.
Okay. Okay, well, and then the last thing we're here to talk to you about, what about when you were torturing kids? Was that like what was going on there? Because I have multiple reports of you tied them up and stabbed them.
We tied them to a tree. We kidnapped them and tied them to a tree, and we beat them until they joined our tribe.
Okay, and was this were you trying to harm them in any way? Like, was the point to hurt them?
It was not. Just to show them who's boss.
Okay. And then at the end, when you were fighting with Jack, or Ralph, I mean, you were chasing him down, was your intent to kill him there at the end?
Nope.
No, you were just
Trying to scare them.
scaring him. Okay, I think that'll be all. Thank you.
Yeah, they like the way I do this. When I crank it like a
I'm here to report that the judges decided that Jack Merridew will be sentenced to death for the murder of Piggy and Simon and the torture of other kids, and the attempted murder of Ralph.
Now hear me roar, I'm an apex predator from the sycamore. Let's get Skeletor. Watch it learn. Get that thing cranking, yeah, slash, burn. Blow to the knees, yeah.
Straight business.
Although we're filming a project.
It's a
Weird kid who deserved to die. So what happened there?
Alright. Simon, he was coming out of the woods.
Okay, just